Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Caricature. And finally, welcome to the Ultimate Tournament SmackDown slate of this season spectacular to determine my personal favorite look from RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World Series 2. The way that this works, I made a tournament bracket for 9 looks, one for every episode of Very Slay that we've done, and we'll be putting these looks against each other head to head to determine a winner that will ultimately progress down to determining our slate of this season at the very end. Now, if you watched Very Slay for this season at all, you knew I was heavily obsessed with Marina Summers, to the point where 6 of the 9 looks on this bracket are Marina. So we are going to be seeing a lot of Marina on Marina action today. Now, if you think this is a fun idea, if you like what you see, if you like the look, which is kind of loosely inspired by Marina Summers' reveal runway makeup, because obviously I'm not going to look like Marina because I'm very much a white woman, but I thought the shapes would kind of play into it and I kind of merged it with my own style. But anyways, I like how this turned out. I think I look stunning. Anywho, let's switch over to the other scene and take a look at this bracket. Okie dokie. Now, as you can see, because there are 9 looks here, this doesn't break down super cleanly, so it is kind of awkward, kind of clunky. We're going to do our first head-to-head here, our first Marina versus Marina scenario, and then once we've determined a winner from that, then we will go back and then we'll do the other 4 pairings, and then we'll have our traditional like 8-4 to 2-1 style tournament, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird, I know, but it's what we gotta do. So let's get into it with our first battle of the season. That's gonna come down to Marina's for Queen and Country look and for Glow Up look. And as much as I love both of these looks a lot, I think there is far and away a clear winner here. I love the cultural representation in both of these. I love that through line in her drag a lot. And I love the sense of color palette and sense of scale as well in her Queen and Country look. I think it's great, I think it's gorgeous, but come on, this glow up look, there is nothing you could do to improve this in any way. And it's one of the best looks of the season for a reason. So for me, that's clearly going to be advancing on in the competition, knocking out her for Queen and Country look. But she still has 5 chances to be Slay of the season, so we can't be too upset about that, can we? Moving on to the second round of the tournament, we now have Marina's reunion look and her business in the front, party in the back on the other. And again, I think this is a pretty clear cut and dry winner. I really loved her karaoke machine look and how literal she took that runway theme. I think she definitely had the best execution of that prompt out of anybody that week by a long shot. And the technological integration into the look to have the karaoke machine on the back was so cool and so silly. I loved it a lot. I do not think it beats how embellished, how regal, how elegant and classy, but still super sexy this reunion look was. All of the cutouts are placed exactly where they need to be. The rhinestoning and embellishment work and the beading is done to perfection. And again, to me, this look was better than her look on the final runway, and that's the reason why it's here over anything else out of those 4 looks. So obviously, I think that look is going to be the one that progresses into our first of our semi-final positions. Next up, we have Le Grand Dame's Meet the Queens promo look, and the look of my makeup is kind of inspired by today, Marina Summers' Reveal Yourself runway. Now, I loved the performance of the reveal. I loved just the idea of the volcano on top, the dried magma, and it cracking to reveal this like liquid fire gown underneath it. It's so gorgeous and just really sleek, very pageanty in the way it was all presented. I adored it so much. And Le Grand Dame's promo look, I loved it because it felt like an evolution of her original promo look with all of the beading, and it's a feast for the eyes. Really, both of these looks are. But for me, the level of detail and the level of what I would assume to be hundreds and hundreds of hours of like meticulous time spent placing all of these beads and getting them in the right shape and draping it perfectly that went into Le Grand Dame's look is what's going to push that over the edge. I think both of these looks are really strong individually, but I think Le Grand Dame's has that extra sense of like oomph that Marina's lacks in comparison. Although I, again, still love Marina's look. So Le Grand Dame advances to take the second slot in the semifinals. In our third bout, we have our next Marina versus Marina battle of the season, and that's going to come down to, once again, her glow up look and her wedding look. I once again, it's kind of a similar thing as the last time, coincidentally, when this look was involved in a battle. I love the traditional cultural representation that Marina brought to the theme with this look. And this look made me really dig into the cultural traditions of the Yukon tribe when it came to the makeup, the styling choices, all of it, and it's done like to a T, perfection. Again, I think it's ultimately going to come down to which of those two looks I prefer, and I think that there's something that's just really magnificent about the scale and the frills and the sleeves of her glow up look, to the point where she took a look that was already really, really great and made it just like god tier level drag by comparison. And I think once again, her glow up look is going to be what I'm going to advance through to the semifinals. And in our final bout of this next round, we have the one battle of the entire time that Marina is not involved in any way, shape, or form. And that is going to be Le Grand Dame's ball looks versus Scarlet Envy's nautical look. Now, I did say, again, I could not decide between any individual look in Le Grand Dame's package, so the photo I'm using here to represent it is obviously the look she made, but I think all three of those looks were so good that I would draw all three of them together as a full piece. When I get down to it, I think the collective energy of those three looks has a fun storyline to it. The first look, the menswear moment, was very Jean-Paul Gaultier for Fifth Element to me. I thought the whole thing kind of had like a 90s sci-fi vibe with the alien and this really glam queen that kind of had this sci-fi vibe as well. I was here for all of it. Now we have Scarlett's Titanic-inspired look here. I think this is the best thing she wore the entire season. I loved the Kate Winslet nod. I loved the makeup. I loved the details and the embellishments all throughout. But in all honesty, that runway for me as a collective was not particularly great. I think I really liked Scarlett's and I really liked Marina's. But other than that, I wasn't like blown away by anything. So Le Grand Dame's complete package, I think when you kind of average the three looks out, is stronger as a whole than what Scarlett's is. So Le Grand Dame is going to be advancing again, and that's going to mean that our semifinal round is comprised of two Marina versus Le Grand Dame battles. Let's move on to that. Our first one, we have a bookend situation here, folks. We have Marina's reunion look from the finale episode and Le Grand Dame's promo look that started off this entire little journey here. And to me, this is a really difficult call because I think both of these looks are so incredible individually. I ultimately had to put this down to which of these looks would I prefer to draw versus which one do I think would be the objective better one here, because again, just as a refresher, that's what this is for. Whichever look wins the whole thing, I'm making an illustration of, and as much as I love Le Grand Dame's look, drawing that look would probably kill me. So I am going to be advancing Marina's reunion look to the next round. There's just something about it that I find so sophisticated, so sleek, so classy. Maybe I'll draw Le Grand Dame's look another day. This is another look where if people want to pay me to do it, sure, I will do it gladly. But in general, I think I would enjoy doing Marina's look a lot more. And in our second battle of the semifinals, we have Marina's glow up look versus Le Grand Dame's ball package, which is a very awkward batch of words now that I think about it. But anyways, as good as Le Grand Dame's ball looks were, I do not think they hold a candle to this look from Marina. So this was the easiest decision to me, I think by a long shot, through most of the entire set of looks. So obviously, Marina's look is going to be the one that advances, which means Le Grand Dame has been officially knocked out of this tournament. The final bout, as it should be in my opinion, is Marina versus Marina to take home the slay of the season. She may not have won the crown, but she did have the best look of the season. And when we look at these two looks next to each other, I truly think that these two looks are the best looks of the season when you put everything together. There are definitely a few other ones that were pretty close. It should not be a surprise to you at all. It should not be a surprise to any of you that my slay of the season was determined the second we first saw it in its original episode. So there's no drum roll, there's no dramatic pause, because this look to me steamrolled everything else in that department. And Marina's glow up look, this improved version of her Tear No She Better Do look, is what is going to take home the slay of the season. So congratulations to Marina. And I know we've got a lot of folks here who are ride or die Marina summer stans. I myself am one of them, and I, for one, cannot wait to draw something out of this look. I think it is going to be so fun. Her face is going to be so fun to draw, so fun to color, and I cannot wait to get into all of the details and textures in this look. So stay tuned for all of that. it might be a while. So like, just bear with me. I will post updates as I work on these Slay of the Season looks in my community tab. So be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for all of those, or go follow me on Instagram and just kind of keep up the pace as everything comes out. There's a whole bunch of art that I'm in the process of working on right now. Unfortunately, I don't have as much time as what I would like to because I'm a busy girl with multiple sources of income, multiple jobs, all of that right now. And on top of that, I found myself in the midst of, and on top of that, if you haven't been keeping up with things on the community tab or me on socials or streaming or whatever, I found myself in the midst of a wonderfully blossoming new romance. It's really been the first time I've taken time to do anything for me and my life, my personal life, and do something that's not work. So it's made me create a work-life balance in a way that I think is really healthy and really great, and I want to keep up with that. So unfortunately, I do not have as much time as I would like to, or what I did back when I was pumping out very Slay episodes like every single day. But anyways, I appreciate the support again on the videos for this season so much. I know a lot of that support is just from people who wanted to see what my opinions were on Marina's looks, and I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate all the folks who subscribed because you folks are the ones who got me over that 500 subscriber hump. So I just wanted to take that time again to thank everybody for all of that support. It's really meant a lot. And I hope you stick around for what other very Slay content I make and other videos that we do along the way, because there's so much stuff coming. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those gorgeous little things. Maybe even hit the notification bell so you can be among the first to know when every new Very Slay or Slay of the Season video comes out. We will be covering All Stars 9 here shortly. That being said, I'm gonna bid you all farewell until the next time, until we all meet again. Be sure to go out there, stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is very Slay.